About 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with melanoma cancer. The doctor gave me, at that time, 2 to 3 years to live. When this trip came up, my wife said, "You gotta go, you deserve it." So here we are.
Every hunt and every hunter has a story. And for those of us who hunt, we know that one story isn't more important than the other. Stories just need to be told. Some might be more compelling than others, but that's really up to the listener. If this is one of those hunts, that's up to you. But this is our story of this hunter and this hunt.
So Rich, who's in camp, his son Adam, my dad, and myself go way back. Rich and my dad coached several teams growing up. Adam and I played sports together. We fought, we ran, we competed against each other. We eventually got to hunt together. When I was about 16, Rich and Adam were big-time pheasant and duck hunters, and my dad and I didn't really do a lot of that. Well, Rich invited me pheasant hunting first, and I'll never forget, I was a lifelong grouse hunter. Well, Rich and Adam brought me down pheasant hunting wild birds in Minnesota, and 10 minutes in, 3 gigantic roosters got up. Of course, I swung and missed 3 times on them and didn't bag it, but this flying fortress of a bird flew up, and instantly I was hooked. So getting a chance to come back and hunt together with Rich is really special. His son Adam, my friend, is a teacher, and so he couldn't join us in camp, but Rich, again, being in camp is pretty special. Over 10 years ago, Rich was diagnosed with cancer, and he's truly a walking miracle. The doctors say that 1 in a million is an understatement. I mean, it's truly amazing that he's here with us today. And so this hunt really came together because of Rich.
I came down with cancer, and melanoma cancer, and they said, "Well, you have 3 years to live." So I ended up at an oncologist here and started chemo, and it's gone. The last scan I had no spots in me at all, and he's like, "I don't believe it." He said, "When you first came here," he asked me this question, "What did you do, come here to die?" Because he didn't figure I would make it either. But either he's one hell of a doctor, or I got angels looking out for me, because it's unbelievable.
Rich called at the beginning of the year. He was still fighting cancer, battling cancer, and said, "Hey," he didn't really say it, but he was like, "I want to go on one last hunt." And I kind of got the notion, and it's busy, family time, it's hard to be away. And we finally set this hunt up, and we were working to it and talking to Rich and staying in contact. Well, the pretty amazing thing is he was always doing significantly well considering the diagnosis and how aggressive of cancer he had. But he was able to call us 2 months before this hunt and let us know that he had a clear cancer scan for the first time in 10 years. So this hunt, it was never said, and we never wanted it to be one last hunt, but the true exciting part of this truly is one more hunt that continues the hunt that my dad and I got to do in Minnesota with Rich almost a decade ago. Now we've formed another chance to hunt together in Arkansas, and no doubt there'll be future hunts together, and hopefully Adam can join us. So like all hunts, the hunting part of it, actually shooting ducks, is really just part of the story. This, like a lot of things that we do, had a ton of elements to it. We were lucky enough to go to the Remington ammunition factory and get a tour with Rich. Rich had never been in an ammunition factory. Obviously, it's something that people don't understand the scale of. We were actually able to pick up some new shells from Remington to bring out into the duck hunt, which is always exciting. Of course, There was the card games, the camaraderie, the amazing meals, the fun, the cocktails, bonfire, and some great duck hunting too. So this hunt really, it's like anything. You put it together to hunt, but there's just so much more to the story that some people really don't understand.
Here we are down Little Rock, Arkansas with Tim and a bunch of his buddies, and we just got a great tour of the Remington factory, and they were saying that they started making Peter's shotgun shells again. And I remember as a kid that my dad used to have boxes of Peter's shotgun shells, and I remember going into the hardware store and they'd have the old posters with the Peters on them, so it brings back a lot of memories.
All right, another day in duck camp. We're getting started before daylight here. Duck should be good. The weather's changed. We're excited. Should be a great day in the blind.
Is well, my darling. Your anxious heart may as well be stone. Oh, we sit down deeper than you know. Yeah, we sit down deeper than you know. Be still.
As hunters, we're introduced to mortality right away because the first time you ever hunt, you're faced with the fact that you're taking the life of an animal. On the personal side, mortality is obviously a lot different and you lack a lot of the control that you have in a hunting scenario. So when you watch Rich go through something so life-threatening and serious, it's a cruel reminder to make time, go hunting, tell stories, make stories, and that's what we've done here in Arkansas. We've hunted together with people that we used to hunt with, that we now hunt with, and now we can focus on the next hunt and what those stories will entail. So we look forward to finding what that next destination is and putting another great group together.
Well,